Okay, so here we are again discussing more about the throat, okay, as a tool for expression, as a manifestation. The voice is a manifestation of how your Kundalini is running, how your life force energy is running and beginning manifest. So we have the voice to vocalize our desired intent as being inspired by the wholeness, as being inspired by divine, who we truly are, not as ego identity, but as consciousness in form, as vessels for consciousness to flow and express itself through. So at first we might be experimenting with telling a certain story or saying a certain desired intent, and we might find that those things are not in alignment with our highest truth. I think there's many layers of programming, many layers of subconscious stuff, maybe things that you have thought that you should do, or other people's opinions or suggestions that lay dormant in this area. So it is only through talking through them often, and this is why doing a counseling session or consulting session can be really helpful, to allow you a free, non-judgmental space to talk through some of the things that are coming up for you. And the nice thing about being able to talk through something is we're not held to what we say, but our words do have power. So if we're speaking something through our words, it's putting it, like, it's on one layer bringing it into the manifest world. But if it is not in alignment with our highest good, then it will not fully develop. Okay, we might see like remnants of it or pieces of it start to show up, but it must continue the journey down through feeling, down through the literal like hearing of the thing, bringing all the senses until we bring it into form, smelling and tasting the very thing that we're bringing consciousness to. So explain that differently. So let's say you would like to move into a new home, and you speak, I would like to move into a new home. I would like the home to have light, I would like to have garden, I would like it to be good for my children, 2 bedrooms, you name all the descriptive stuff. So you've got a working model, a thinking, logical like picture of it that you're speaking out, okay? It's not fully complete until it contains other elements of the senses. So until now, the next week we're going to be talking about heart chakra stuff, but I want to lead you through how this works out. So then you begin to conjure the feeling, you engage the heart chakra in what this place will feel like. And you imagine feeling the sun coming through the windows. You imagine the feeling of stepping out onto the front porch, your hands in the garden and growing the things. You imagine feeling safe and comfortable and good in your home and happy, and that you have created home. So you bring that feeling live and palpable, and that engages the heart chakra. So it's moving down into manifest world even more. So then as we get down a little bit lower, we're moving into other senses of touch and taste and smell, okay? So imagining feeling what it's like to run your fingers across the railing of the banister you're imagining, or you imagine what it feels like in your fingertips to turn the handle on the front door, and you just keep feeling that metal handle, you keep seeing that red door, you keep feeling how excited you are to open the door and swing it open. And so you're engaging now the touch, and then you move down even more and you start imagining hearing the children laughing running through the halls. You imagine tasting the foods being created in the kitchen. And this tasting down to the second chakra of manifestation, I mean, you can imagine tasting like a fresh salad out of the garden, or you imagine tasting just your tongue, licking your lips in the living room. And what it does is it starts to engage a sensual part of our being, which is directly tied to our sexual energy, which is an amplification and a focused way of taking Kundalini energy and bringing it into a heightened level of manifestation capacity. So just like we have the capacity to make a baby, we also can use that same sexual energy, that sensual energy that is at the second chakra, to bring more depth and potency to the thing that we feel that's coming through us. We can use it as our furthering of the belief, furthering of the faith and trust in the universe manifesting through us. And so this is where the Kundalini and Sexuality mini course comes in, how to take that energy and move it into, like, through the circuits of your body into manifestation. And the final step is to actually smell the smells of the new home, the new carpet smells, or the smells of food in the kitchen, or the smells of love in the bedroom, or the smells of the flowers in the garden, to really bring in and act all the senses. So as we come back and reverse that awareness into the throat again, then my exercise for you today, my recommendation, is that you start to hear when you are making an intention or talking about a dream that you have, or like something you would like to be true. And you can tell by a level of excitement in your voice how engaged you are in it. If you feel like you're just talking about it as a separate thing, like, yeah, would be a good idea, or I think this would be really nice, and maybe that was someone else's idea, or if this is like an authentic idea that you're really, really excited about, like, you can even hear your voice start to almost get higher and start putting energy behind it, because it's actually something that is excited to come into this world. And so start monitoring when you're talking about things, even what's for lunch, like, what's for lunch today? Get excited about the thing you really want. If you just have spaghetti and you're like, oh, there's spaghetti, like, maybe take a moment to conjure the times that you've really enjoyed eating spaghetti, and, like, talk about it again, like, allow the excitement to come in so you become more aligned with what you're eating, instead of just letting it be a default manifestation, a default experience, which we then value less and are kind of out of alignment with ourself for, which is a little bit constricting to this chakra. We want to speak and experience the interaction. This is really our interface piece. Like, we're not always touching each other, even though that would be lovely. Our interface with each other is our words and our ears, right? And our eyes, like these organs. But we're able to really share expression by the things we say or not say. And so to notice how we're saying everything we're saying. Okay, everything we're saying, we're talking about. If you live alone, maybe you do more or less talking out loud. But listen to the things coming out of your mouth. Are they agreeing with and in alignment with the king, queen self sitting on the inner throne, taking reign over the inner kingdom, the inner queendom, sovereignty in your life? Are these words in support of that, or are they warring against that? Are they disempowering? Are they in alignment with the mission of the kingdom, queendom that is you and your surrounding area? Or do they weaken the force? Do they weaken the force, the life force, the Kundalini? Does the Kundalini right here continue to move into full manifestation form? Or does it get dispersed out into past and present, into fears, into expectations, Does it get dispersed here? Almost like you have holes and maybe there's a past life, like head chopping off, that needs to be cleared from your body, if that's happening as well. Because it feels like a lot of us sever our connection to our life force at our throat. And we hear each other talking, and as we become more aware, we can literally hear what's disempowering about what the other person's saying. I can hear that. So, that is all for this session. Really listen to your speech today. Work on bringing it into alignment. When I was first doing this, I would say something and I'd go, oh, wait, I don't mean that. Scratch that. What I really mean is. And just allow myself to audibly correct myself. So do that and enjoy it. Have fun with it. Feel the authentic, effervescent excitement when you are in alignment and when you are not. And how that sounds. Okay, much love. See you tomorrow.